welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a really good day. I know that whenever I do a video pertaining to how to get a job in the cosmetic industry, these typical types of videos don't really do so well on my channel. I'm not entirely certain as to why, unless more people are interested in being a YouTuber versus actually getting a job working in cosmetics. Such could very much be the case. But because I haven't gotten definite feedback on it, I decided to film a video called The More You Know, How to Work in Cosmetic Sales. And for a lot of people who are interested in a career on YouTube, it's really going to help you going forward to actually know how to apply makeup on other people, not just so that you'll be confident if you do want to go ahead and bring a model on your channel, but just so that if people do question, you know, what you know, it's always really good to say, well, I really do know. So, and I'm not saying that everybody who's on YouTube needs to get a job in cosmetic sales, because as a YouTuber, you do work in cosmetic sales to an extent. You have affiliate codes, you have affiliate links. You are not just selling a product, but you really are selling yourself. But as far as the real world is concerned, we don't know exactly how long this beauty community on YouTube is going to last. I think it's always good to have some real world experience, some real fallbacks, so, you know, some real even after school job experience. I don't think it's cool to skip school to film a video here on YouTube or anything like that. And I've seen videos go live with that, you know, introduction, and it's a little like, oh, what's the world coming to kind of thing, for me anyways. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit older. I'm gonna be 32 in January, so maybe I'm coming from more of a, like, an auntie, big sister type of place when I hear that. So bear with me on that one, because I feel like, you know, older people they just become kind of like less attuned to younger generations as time wears on. But you know, with all that being said, I'm gonna film today's video on how to work in sales. So there are several people who will tell you how it's done, how to work it, and there are videos here up on YouTube that tell you how to work it, and a lot of it is based on trickery, and I feel like do the opposite, to be honest with you. People can tell when somebody has a genuine heart by looking into their eyes, so always keep it very, very genuine, particularly when you're facing somebody and looking them right in the eyes in person. Now, with all that said, when we're faced with reality, we really never know how a customer is going to respond to us. That could be a good or a bad thing. They could be having a bad day. They could be having a bad day and they just wanted to choose you to take their whole day out on. So for whatever reason, we really never know how a customer is going to react to us, whether that's going to start positive and grow negative, or start negative and grow positive. So my advice to you is to leave very little expression on your face. My favorite line from the film Cocktail is never show surprise, never lose your cool. Back when I bartended for 10 years. So I know it's been brought up that I was a barmaid and stuff like that in the past. I know that that is the European term for bartender, female bartender. With all that being said, that was a line I lived by. When people do something kind of shocking and outrageous, my best advice I can give you is to never look surprised. Be sort of statuesque, and your calmness will either break them to become more calm, but just the fact that you aren't surprised almost lets them know, if they're being irrational, that you've seen this kind of behavior before. So kind of keep that in mind. I think the biggest shock for me when I left bartending and chose to work in cosmetics was that I always felt that the reason people were irrational was because they had too much to drink. There's a whole other, I guess, real world out there outside of people who aren't drinking, so to speak. And for me, that was super shocking. I know for a lot of people who work in bars that when they come into it, they end up being super shocked. Like, I didn't know people were capable of this. Well, it's super shocking when you find out that people who are supposedly sober are capable of so much more. So I think because I started bartending so young, this was the ultimate shocker to me. So my best advice is to never act surprised, never lose your cool. Second piece of advice is, no matter how they're treating you, is to always be super respectful, is to always be calm, and to always go above and beyond. This will turn them around. Some people I've noticed will give you a very, very hard time, and it's because they like to challenge people. They've had very bad experiences in the past. They like to challenge people because they've lost respect for certain people who are now working in customer service industries. It's either that or they're a really tough nut to crack, and they really enjoy giving people a hard time. So my best advice I can give you so that you basically shine bright like a star is to respect everybody regardless of how they're respecting you. I know that's easier said than done, but is to go above and beyond and to always do the right thing. If a customer, and this has been my personal experience, I had a customer who didn't want me to wait on them because I was Caucasian. And I had posted this on my Facebook, and a lot of people were like, okay, that's not something that would actually really happen. That's a falsehood. That's a story you made up. And to be very honest with you, I always choose to be on the opposite end when there's sort of that type of offensive behavior around and it's geared towards me. I always assume the best, especially if somebody's talking in a different language that I don't understand. I always assume the best. I never assume anybody's talking about me. So when it is geared towards me, I'm not one to make that up. So, and I think especially with what's going on in today's world, especially with the elections, that kind of reverse, or should I say, there really is no such thing as reverse discrimination. So I really don't know how else to put it. You can discriminate against anybody, whether you're of any race, any culture, and it can be geared towards anyone of any race or any culture. So quite basically, this lady did not want me to wait on her. And so it went down like this. She spoke a little bit in her language. I'm not going to say which one, but she spoke a little bit in her language to the other girl. And I knew that they were talking about me. I'm not going to say derogatorily, but essentially she decided that she didn't want me to finish her face because I was not of her cultural background. So I bowed out and I just said, okay. I said to her very respectfully, my coworker will be happy to finish your face for you. And she said, okay, thank you. So for me, when it comes to touching somebody's face, their skin, whatever, that's very personal. It's a very personal boundary. So when I say always show respect to people and go above and beyond, it's to basically swallow all of your pride. And at this point in time, I didn't feel there was any need to sell myself and say, well, I'm really good at what I do. It really wasn't about whether I was good or not. It wasn't even so much of a personal attack on me as an individual. So I had to kind of take it for what it was based off of what is currently going on in the world and just take it with a grain of salt. Sure, it was very frustrating because I felt that the customer really, really liked me the day before when she booked the appointment, but I had to let it go and respect her boundaries and do the right thing. But at the very, very end of the day, I couldn't act surprised and I couldn't lose my cool. So I had asked some people, what would you have done in that situation? And they said, well, you know, that's a very touchy subject, but when it comes to people's skin, hair, and nails, that is a personal boundary. And in a regular customer service atmosphere, you would never leave the client if she approached you first. And I typically do agree with that, but when it comes to, like I said, personal boundaries, that's where you have to always respect somebody. So this is a very different world of customer service. Don't let what I said scare the bejesus out of you into getting into cosmetic retail if that's something that you want. I think in the near future that'll be nipped in the bud after this election's over and a lot of the crap that's going on in the world, it can hopefully subside. But like what I was saying, like, just always respect people, always respect their boundaries, because this is a very different bracket of customer service. And my next tip is going to be to never, ever, ever, ever assume. Like I was saying, I would never assume that somebody's talking behind my back just because they choose to speak in a different language. This goes forward with everything. Never, ever, 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 ever assume that somebody has a certain type of income based on anything. You're going to assume nothing. You don't know this person. This person is a blank template, so to speak. So with that being said, never, ever, ever melt down your customer demographic into a genre of having a lot of money or not having a lot of money. Different people choose to spend their money in different ways regardless of what they take in. So my follow-up tip would be to never sell out of your own pocket. People who work in cosmetic sales typically don't make an immense amount of money, needless to say, unless, you know, there's people on YouTube who've made quite a bit of money. But generally speaking, if you're going to be working in this industry to start off with, you have to love it first. It's not going to pay you first. So with that being said, never sell out of your own pocket. Always assume that this person wants to drop at least $100 and sell from a genuine place, and never be like, okay, I think this person's cheap, we're gonna try to sell them like a dupe, or, you know, never ever, if they come to you, they want your products or they're interested in your products. So always sell, always show, and never think about their wallet. Oh, my following tip would be to never make claims when selling products, because these are just all like little marketing pieces and marketing structures. Let the boxes do the talking, let you do the follow-up talking. Just state exactly what the product does and state it and come from a very honest place. Work with the products. Make sure that if you don't understand them, that you do a makeover on somebody so that you do understand it. Take a sample home for yourself if your company allows all that stuff. So always, always, always never make claims, just do the talking, just sell the product. Customers expect people to be dishonest in a sale. That might sound harsh, but it's real. Customers expect us at this point in time to be super dishonest. So do not state what's on the box. Be genuine and say, hey, so this product has hyaluronic hyaluronic acid, and it turns over your skin cells, plumps up your skin, is very hydrating, and it's an anti-ager. Those are all true facts about hyaluronic acid. You didn't just say, so it fixes fine lines. Oh, it also fixes wrinkles. Oh, shoot, and discoloration, helps with skin cell turnover. 99% of women agree. That's like, let the box do that for you. Don't go that way, because it comes across as dishonest. A lot of customers at this point in time are dishonest with their customer sales rep. This really isn't for us to figure out. It's not going to be in their best interest to lie to us, but they will, because people don't like to people, when they walk into a consultation for hair and makeup, they don't like to be belittled. They don't like to be told that they're doing a bad job with their hair, skin, and nails, and they don't like to be told you have to do more for yourself. They want to be kind of pampered. So be sure to compliment them and be genuine. The key points that I wanted to really make with you guys is when you start a sale, when a customer walks up to you, you're going to assume that you're already going to get the sale. Assume, regardless of the amount, assume that you're going to be getting the sale. This sort of positive sort of outlook in life when it comes to making a sale is what they call laws of attraction. So you are attracting that sale by thinking that you're going to get it. This might seem presumptuous and illegal and a little egotistical, but if you know the game, play it. So be positive. The Simple Rules of Attraction. I highly recommend reading that book, or even watching a documentary if you hate reading, or simply just looking up the term laws of attraction. And it is simply assuming that the way the universe works is that if you think positively, everything positive will come to you. So typically, if you work in sales, you have a sales goal. So always assume when you walk into the door that you're going to make a sale, and everyone who walks up to you is going to want to assume a sale with you. So that seems a little over the top, a little over presumptuous, and a little like, but I can't tell you how many negative people I've worked with that are like, it's gonna be slow today, I'm not gonna make anything, watch, this lady's cheap. Oh, watch, this lady's gonna only want $20 worth of product. I'm not gonna waste my time. Oh, watch, this lady always comes in here and she just wants me to compliment her. Should I? Yes. You might be the only person that gets a sale from her. Okay, so with all that said, it sounds really cheesy and a little hocus pocusy, but here's the deal. You're not getting paid to be real. You're getting paid to be on a stage. You're getting paid to smile. Those types of salespeople that are willing to be more genuine, smile, and be on a stage and be happy about their job, they're going to attract people. So with that being said, that law of attraction will attract people to you. If you're somebody who works at a slow counter, look at all the beautiful products you're working with. Look at it. Why is this counter slow? Probably because the person who worked there before you didn't take care of it. So change that. Change that. This company, who's really slow, sells a beautiful purple eyeshadow. Wear that beautiful purple eyeshadow. Stand in front of your counter. Stand in front of your counter and be present and assume the sale. Eventually people will come to you and that counter won't be slow anymore. That might sound bogus, but it's actually very true, and it's happened. It's worked for me. Also, don't turn your back on your audience. Your customer is your audience. As I stated, you're on a stage. So when you turn your back on your audience to gossip, ignore, be rude, and be unguarded, customers, especially nowadays, and especially with senior citizens, their mentality is very different than kids today. So they're not necessarily going to want to approach you. They're going to come from a mindset, well, she doesn't really want to work, so I'm not going to walk up to her. Oh, she's just here to gossip and talk, and she doesn't care about me. I'm not going to walk up to her. They're going to walk up to the girl who's attentive and not engaged in a conversation. So never let your guard down. You need to know your products from all perspectives, whether that's your brand's mission statement, what YouTubers are saying about it, what reviewers are saying about it. You need to know how that product works. You need to know your customers' misconceptions as well as YouTubers' misconceptions of your product, so you can correct, rectify, and move forward and show people better ways to use these products. And if anything, show them more than 2 uses of that product. A lot of brands nowadays are coming up with wake-up balms, and this is not just a skincare product. It's hardly really just a skincare product because it's more or less like a really kind of cool primer with caffeine in it. But with that being said, it's also a really cool highlighter because it's got shimmer in it. So be sure to show all the uses. Potential hazards, and know the key points. Know the key allergens also in your products. Some people are allergic to caffeine, some people are allergic to cucumbers, some people are allergic to gluten. And keeping all this in mind, it's really good to know your products like the back of your hand. Offer your clients everything. Never ever assume that they don't want a good offer. Once again, don't sell from your own pocket, but offer them. Offer them to ship it out to them if your brand allows this, if your store allows this. If your store offers a barcode where there's a coupon, offer this coupon, regardless of who they are. Just be genuine with everybody. And if somebody says, do I look like I need a coupon? Just say, I offer this to everybody, but never lose your cool over it. Also, when people come in for skincare, they really want to be pampered, but they never want to be ridiculed. So ask them, how is their routine going for them? What would they like to add into their routine? What do they love about their routine? What's working for them? What are their expectations? And why did they come into the store that day? Never assume the reason they came into that store, because that could feel judgmental. So with that being said, at the end of a skincare consultation, and you've already kind of booked and packaged and figured out what they'd like to take home, close the sale and say, what would you like to take home with you today? What smelled good? What was wonderful? What was luxurious? What do you think you can't live without? That is a genuine question, a genuine response from your service that you provided. That's going to make them think, But it's not pushy. It's not like, so you need to go home with 5 products today. Just say, what did you like? Sometimes people can only buy 1 product. So let them go home with 1 product. It's better than not. It's better than you not making anything, right? So let them go home with that 1 product and compliment them. Always focus on the positives. If they're a really sweet, bubbly person and they seem to have low self-esteem, but they're fun and they're outgoing and they're wearing a bright color, be sure to be fully engaging and be like, you're so much fun to talk to. I had such a great day with you today. And if they feel like they have like a lot of discoloration, but their skin has really great texture, compliment them on that. Your skin's so smooth and soft. You obviously moisturize very well. So always focus on the positives, but give a genuine compliment. Also, during big sales events, it's very customary for companies to want you to book appointments. Some people hate doing this. If you really love makeup, you're gonna love doing this, but don't just book appointments during the big sales. Always be on the lookout for a new client to pamper and keep your books rotating at all times. That way, when those big events and those big sales do come up, your client is gonna want to give you a piece of that pie back and be like, yes, I'll help you during your big event. You were so kind to me before. So that always works out. Also, I remember I had this one client, she was laid off from her job. She couldn't afford any products. I gave her a facial, I pampered her. And she was so much fun. She was one of my first clients I really got to give facial to. I really got to get my feet wet. And so for me, she was a genuine, really good experience. And even though she didn't walk out with anything that day, I knew she really loved her service. And so I understood from a physical standpoint why she couldn't purchase anything from me. She was laid off. And around the time, this is around the first time I was leaving California, I was having a raffle. So I came up to her and I said, so we have a drawing going on. Would you like me to enter your name in the raffle for a chance to win this particular prize? And she said, well, I haven't purchased anything. I said, I know, but I'd love to enter your name into the raffle. I honestly went through with the raffle. I shook up all of these little names for these gifts I was going to be giving away. And I honestly pulled her name. It was strange, but I think she was destined to have this free gift because she couldn't afford anything. And I pulled her name and I gave her a phone call and I said, you won the raffle. You get all this free awesome skincare. She literally just starts crying into the phone and said, did you want me to win that? I said, of course I did, because I knew you couldn't go home with any of this, but you genuinely won. I didn't just pull your name. I didn't just call and say, is that something you're interested in? And then go ahead and rig it. I really wanted you to win, but I pulled your name out of a raffle, out of a drawing, and you have won legitimately. And so she comes in with a big bag of chocolate chip cookies for me and says, here. And she's just like in tears and says, I'm gonna miss you. I was like, oh. So I gave her her skincare. And so always take care of your customers, regardless of what they can afford or can't afford to sell with you or buy with you. She came in the day afterwards and she did buy an eye cream finally, but I understood if she didn't even do that. She really didn't even have to do that. But always take care of people and always know their circumstances. It's always really good to have genuine conversations with customers so you know everything about them. And that way you don't get disappointed if they don't buy, or you don't get disappointed if they don't come in often. And that way you truly treasure and value all of your potential clients. It's always good to look at your potential clients as well and develop real friendships with them. Also, when closing all these sales, never be forceful. Be excited, be joyful, be genuine, and be excited for what these products are going to do for them. Ask them, so did it work out for you at the wedding? And they're going to be like, she cares, she's interested, she wants to know. You know, they're going to eventually come in and show you like wedding pictures and be like, you did such a good job on my makeup, thank you. That's going to give you a sense of pride and a purpose for your job. And you're not just a salesperson. And you are essentially more than a cosmetologist too, or a makeup artist. You are a friend, and they want to share their lives with you from a makeup standpoint. You two can be makeup junkies together, which is awesome. My favorite thing that I do for my customers is if they can't afford to buy anything that day, or they can't afford to buy everything that day, here's what I love to do. I love to develop a face chart for them. I love to put a star by all the products that they really kind of were like, that smells good. I really enjoyed that. What's that brush? So whenever I really listen when I'm doing the makeover, and I create a little face chart and list everything I showed them. So yes, they're gonna buy 3 products today. They can't afford everything today. That's all right. 3 products is quite a bit still. And let them come in when they get their next paycheck and buy more from you eventually. Eventually they'll collect everything off that face chart. You've done a good job. Remember, it's not just a percentage of your sales today, tomorrow, perhaps next day, but years to come. So that's my advice when doing sales. And a couple of silly backstories. I don't think that they're too horrifying, but this is the real world, and there needs to be real expectations. This is a job. It can be difficult, but can also be very rewarding. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next in the